And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Redbank Chevrolet Main Street Sports Show here on exploreClarion.com. Tonight we have some really special guests this evening. We have the Central Clarion Wildcats wrestling team with us this evening. We're joined by Coach Ron Gorley and as well as Mason Gorley, Hayden Heineman, Jake Henry, and Logan Powell this evening. And my special guest, he is what we call the guru of wrestling all over the Keystone Shortway Conference, District 9, all that stuff. It is Ken Staub. And Ken, great to have you here tonight and to get ready to talk to these wrestlers about the season and what's been going on.
Oh, thanks for having me. I'm always willing to talk wrestling.
You sure are. And one thing I don't know if folks know about Ken, but Ken is one I've learned a lot from Ken. We've done a few wrestling matches together, and certainly wrestling wasn't one of my big fortes, and he's really taught me a lot, you know, on the way there and when we're doing matches. And it's one nice thing because you have that mix between the college and also the high school that you're able to see both of those.
And it actually got a lot easier this year because the high school rule changes went more towards college. So now everybody's at a three-point takedown. I don't have to change up my mindset when I actually do a match.
Yeah, because Ken would always say, no, in college that would be, and I'm like, okay. So one nice thing about wrestling, we've talked about that with other sports too. It'd be nice if all of the different leagues and stuff would get on the same page when it comes to rules. So that's nice to see.
Yeah, I think it will help the guys that are going to go to the next level make that transition a little bit better. The one thing we've seen it do is really increase scoring at the high school level. I know, for instance, Mason at the D9 Wrestling League tournament this past weekend didn't go past the second period in any of his matches, and he was putting 18 points on the board. I was watching one match, and the final score was 29-20.
Oh, wow.
And that was only a 5-minute match.
Wow.
So they put almost 50 points on the board in 5 minutes.
Well, that's going to be interesting. We'll see how that works out. I know we're going to have some matches coming up here on Explore Clarion as well as the season goes on. So you want to tune in for that. We're going to take a time out, and we're going to come back. We're going to talk to head coach Ron Gorley coming up about the Central Clarion Wildcat Wrestling Program, and that's all on the way. You're watching the Redbank Chevrolet Main Street Sports Show. It's live right here at the Haskell House on exploreClarion.com.
You can afford a gorgeous, custom-designed hardwood Kales kitchen for a lot less than you'd pay at a DIY store. Go to FactoryDirectKitchens.net. At Kales, there are never middleman markups or hidden charges that can add 40%. Go to FactoryDirectKitchens.net. That's FactoryDirectKitchens.net.
Your eyes are the window to your soul, so take care of them. The Laurel Eye Clinic provides complete care from annual exams, glasses and contacts to cataract and retinal surgery, LASIK, and more. As a trusted leader in family eye care for 50 years, you can trust them with yours. Call or visit us online today.
Need reliable plumbing or heating services? Call Luton's Plumbing and Heating. Fast, friendly, and available 24/7. Call them at 814-226-8695. This game is brought to you by Tionesta Builders? No, Tionesta Builder Supply. Family-owned and operated home improvement centers located in Tionesta and Shippenville.
Affordable opportunities are endless at Northern Pennsylvania Regional College. If you're looking to start next semester or next year, apply now at discovernprc.org. discovernprc.org.
At Clarion County Community Bank, you're more than just a number. With personalized service and modern conveniences, they make banking easy. Clarion County Community Bank, where community comes first. The Cooper Discoverer Road Plus Trail AT, our most trusted truck tire, is now better than ever and available for your truck or SUV. They're designed for the reliability and durability to find adventure beyond the pavement and are backed by a Cooper mileage warranty of up to 65,000 miles. Learn more about the reliable Discoverer Road Plus Trail AT at exploreClarion.com. Count on Cooper. Or stop by Carly Tires in Clarion. Carly Tires, the area's largest selection of tires.
Hi, my name is Jason and welcome to Sweet Basil. Come on in.
Dubrook is your trusted ready-mix concrete supplier. From commercial to residential, Dubrook has you covered. Call 1-844-DUBROOK or visit dubrooking.com. Dubrook is proud to support our local communities. Dubrook, your solid choice in all things concrete.
Modern Living Solutions in Knox is always on the lookout for driven, positive individuals to join their team. They offer career growth opportunities and industry-leading pay. No experience is necessary as training is provided. Apply today and build a future with Modern Living Solutions.
And welcome back here to the Haskell House in Clarion. It's the Redbank Chevrolet Main Street Sports Show tonight. Our special guests are the Central Clarion Wildcats wrestling team. We have head coach Braun Gorley, as well as Mason Gorley, Hayden Heineman, Jake Henry, and Logan Powell with us this evening. But our first segment, we're going to turn it over to the coach. I know we have some questions for Coach Gorley, and we told the players too, as he's talking, they can jeer, they can sneer, they can jump in and say, no, he's not telling you the truth. So we'll see if that happens or not. I'm sure they wouldn't want to go to practice tomorrow if that happens. But anyway, Coach, welcome to you. And season started off seemingly well for you guys. You've done very well in the dual meets I've seen. You have a winning record going into this beginning part of the season. So it seems like you guys are starting to hit things on all cylinders.
Yeah, it's been a good start so far. I believe we're 6-2 after last night, right? And had a good showing at the Redbank duels over Christmas, which we did last year as well. Our goal there was to go 6-0. We ended up 5-1. We lost a close match to Highlands, but it was an exciting match. We started off the year with Brookville up at the university, which was a good experience for us, wrestling before the Rutgers. Was it Rutgers? Yeah, again, the Rutgers.
Rutgers match.
Yeah, so we wrestled, our junior high won at 4:30, we won at 5:30, and that match didn't go as we wanted it to. We got a big victory against Brookville last year, and wanted to try to do the same this year, but that didn't work out. We weren't totally healthy. I know it was the beginning of the year, but we were missing a couple guys from the football season, which they had a great run, and they were just wrapping up their season. So I'd like to, maybe we'll get to another chance at Brookville later in the season, but that was a good start with the Redbank duels. We actually started at Hickory and had a good showing at Hickory. We were down probably 6 or 7 guys. That was still during the football season. Went to Brookville, went to the Redbank duels, and I think that was it, right, guys? And then we wrestled last night. We wrestled at Punxsy, and like I told the team, that was a good team win for us last night at Punxsy. We were able to have a full lineup. We filled all the weight classes, which in today's wrestling, that's really a good thing. Some teams struggle with numbers, but our numbers are good this year, and it allowed us as coaches to move some kids around. We had some kids actually drop down some weight classes, which gave us some better opportunities to get some better matchups. So overall, that was a fun match because there's some strategy to it as a coach. There's also some some kids maybe wrestling weight classes they don't normally wrestle, trying to get the best matchups for the team to win. So we did discuss that today. So, but we're looking forward to what is to come for this season. Friday, we pack up the vans and go to cross state lines. We're going to go up to Falcon, New York. That's always a fun tournament for us. There's a mix of some District 9 and 10 teams there, and then there's probably 15 to 16 teams from New York that go there, which there'll be good competition there. And it's good to wrestle some kids that you may not wrestle in the postseason, being the New York kids. So it's our annual road trip for us. So we stay up there and come home late Saturday after the final. So we're looking forward to that for sure.
Okay, and one of the things you mentioned was being able to fill the lineup, which is a huge advantage in today's wrestling world. And your numbers are good, and you have sort of an interesting mix with your team of young folks, or newer folks to the sport of wrestling, as well as guys that have been wrestling for years. Can you talk about how you balance that, especially in the practice range?
Yeah, it's a challenge in some ways, knowing that you have some kids coming in that have wrestled for 2 days, really 2 days to 2 weeks. And then you have some of these guys sitting over here that have wrestled for 12 to 13 years. So that's a challenge. It's a good challenge to have. You gotta keep the new kids engaged and the experienced kids engaged. And some of these guys, even these guys sitting here, are great. They almost act as secondary coaches with some of these guys when we're doing certain drills and certain techniques. So we recruited, we did a lot of legwork in the fall, going to the other schools. I mean, we're made up of Keystone, North Clarion, Clarion, and CL. So similar to football, but we just had Keystone in for the wrestling. So all those schools, we're represented by all the schools, so that's good to see. The only challenge is getting all the kids here in a timely manner for practice when you have bad weather and stuff like that. But it's just something that we can overcome, and it ended up working well.
Now, do you just practice when it comes to all of the schools? Do you have your practices at Clarion?
At Clarion, yeah. The CL kids ride the bus over. That's pretty standard because they did it in football. Keystone kids, they actually have a van that brings the kids over. The one that North Clarion has a couple kids coming down, so they carpool down. So we get it figured out. But.
Okay. You're going to be unveiling a new mat too, coming up at your Brockway match, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So everything will be fully Central Clarion after that.
Fully Central Clarion. Yeah, we've got a lot of support from the school districts. Dr. Carrico's helped us out a lot the past 2 years. I mean, last year we got new practice mats, which were long overdue, but really nice to get them. And then this year we ordered a new competition mat with the Wildcat colors, the Wildcat logo. So that helps. I think that helps bring more participation in, because you're not from Keystone or CL Wrestling for the Clarion Bobcats. It's we're one team here, and it's good to see with the football team the success they had has helped our program. And then it's exciting this year just to jump to a spring sport. The track team is going to be the Wildcat track team, so I think they're looking forward to having a lot of good athletes and having a good year. So it certainly helps. Getting the nice mats, the new uniforms, that certainly helps.
We're going to be talking to the guys that are here this evening. I'm going to talk to you about a little bit about some of the guys that aren't. And the first ones I want to talk about are the Aaron brothers, Wyatt and Grayson. Both of them have seemed to step up their level each year. And they're looking good this year. Can you talk a little bit about them?
Yeah, they put in a lot of time in the off season, which in this sport certainly helps. I mean, I encourage these guys, even if you can get on the mat for a practice or an hour once a week, I mean, that adds up over the course of the year. And they did that. They did some camps during the summer, and that's definitely paying off. And that's good to see them having early success and hopefully continued success.
And one guy who unfortunately is not here and is not in the lineup right now is Matt Alston, your 215-pounder from last year. Can you talk a little bit about his absence?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. He's a little bit banged up from the long football season and tweaked his knee early in the wrestling season, but hopefully we get some good news next week. He's been going to the doctor. Excited to get him back. But in Matt's absence, with the numbers we've had, it's allowed some guys to step up. And our first Hickory tournament, we had a sophomore from Keystone, Dylan, wrestled really well coming up from junior high, so that was good to see. We have Gavin from North Clarion that's filling in. So with the numbers, that gives us some flexibility, but we certainly want Matt to get healed up as quick as he can. He had a successful season for us last year, and being a senior this year, we want to get him back.
And one of the things that just happened recently that's sort of a feather in the Central Clarion cap is you had your first 100 match winner this past weekend in Logan Powell. The Central Clarion program has only had 4 before him. He's the first CL athlete to have 100 wins. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, that was congratulations to Logan on Saturday at the D9. He got his 100th win there. It takes a lot of years and time to get there, and you have to stay healthy, and there's all the challenges to do that and to put the hard work in. So I think we look back, I think it was maybe Zaxxon Tobin was the last one, and that was pushing maybe 10 years ago, right?
Yeah, 2016.
So not an easy task to accomplish. So it was well deserved, and a lot of time and hard work went into that, getting those wins.
Yeah, Logan currently stands at 101 wins, and there's 2 guys above him with 104, so he could actually, in the next couple of weeks, jump up, even if with a good weekend this weekend, jump up to 3rd place on that all-time win list for Clarion Central.
Yeah, he'll certainly keep climbing. We're excited to see where he ends up.
And you talked about you're going up to Falconer, New York for the Patrick J. Morales Memorial Tournament. Last year you finished 4th at that tournament, and I know talking to you in the preseason, you've sort of had that date circled as a tournament you can sort of really show out for that.
Yeah, we're hoping to, one of our goals is to improve on our finish from that tournament. We wrestled well there last year. There's some good teams there. Corey will be there. That's one of the top teams in District 10 and the state. They're usually 1st or 2nd, so we want to. The interesting thing about that tournament is you can score 13 guys. You can have guys at 2 weights score, so that's good for us. So we'll have 13 guys that can score in that tournament, and we'll hopefully wrestle well and improve on that 4th place finish.
And last year at that tournament, both Logan and Mason finished as runners-up, so I'm sure they're going to be looking to improve upon that.
Yep, there's only one better position, so we're hoping that they both improve on that, and a lot of the other guys. Yeah.
And then you do have a big dual meet tournament coming up in, I believe, 2 weeks over in Clearfield.
Yeah, that one is, we wanted to step up. Last year we went to Mercer. We won that tournament, which was great, but looking at this year, when we were looking at our schedule, there's some of the top teams in the state there. And we just got the draw for our first match. We were wrestling Clearfield right out of the gate, and they're one of the top teams in the state in AA. So they're very good, very solid. So keep telling our guys, if we want to get better, we need to wrestle better competition, and certainly we'll get that at the Bison Duels.
Okay, we're going to need to take a quick time out. I know Ken has a lot more questions, and we got to get these guys in. So we'll keep rolling here, but we do need to take a time out. And when we come back too, we're going to go over. It's a new feature. We started it when we had the Central Clarion football team here. I know Mr. Hyman remembers spinning the wheel, but Durstein Windows and Doors sponsored a prize wheel, and they have made that available to our guests. So we'll have Coach Braun spin the wheel, and then we're going to pick a player to spin the wheel later on when we come back from this quick timeout. So we'll take a break, and you're watching the Redbank Chevrolet Main Street Sports Show here from the Haskell House on exploreClarion.com.
Affordable opportunities are endless at Northern Pennsylvania Regional College. If you're looking to start next semester or next year, apply now at discovernprc.org. discovernprc.org.
This game is brought to you by Tionesta Builders? No. Tionesta Builder Supply. Family-owned and operated home improvement centers located in Tionesta and Shippenville. Need reliable plumbing or heating services? Call Luton's Plumbing and Heating. Fast, friendly, and available 24/7. Call them at 814-226-8695.
Your eyes are the window to your soul, so take care of them. The Laurel Eye Clinic provides complete care from annual exams, glasses and contacts to cataract and retinal surgery, LASIK, and more. As a trusted leader in family eye care for 50 years, you can trust them with yours. Call or visit us online today.
You can afford a gorgeous, custom-designed hardwood Kales kitchen for a lot less than you'd pay at a DIY store. Go to FactoryDirectKitchens.net. At Kales, there are never middleman markups or hidden charges that can add 40%. Go to FactoryDirectKitchens.net. That's FactoryDirectKitchens.net.
Modern Living Solutions in Knox is always on the lookout for driven, positive individuals to join their team. They offer career growth opportunities and industry-leading pay. No experience is necessary as training is provided. Apply today and build a future with Modern Living Solutions.
Dubrook is your trusted ready-mix concrete supplier. From commercial to residential, Dubrook has you covered. Call 1-844-DUBROOK or visit dubrooking.com. Dubrook is proud to support our local communities. Dubrook, your solid choice in all things concrete.
Hi, my name is Jason and welcome to Sweet Basil. Come on in.
The Cooper Discoverer Road Plus Trail AT, our most trusted truck tire, is now better than ever and available for your truck or SUV. They're designed for the reliability and durability to find adventure beyond the pavement and are backed by a Cooper mileage warranty of up to 65,000 miles. Learn more about the reliable Discoverer Road Plus Trail AT at CooperTire.com. Count on Cooper. Or stop by Carly Tires in Clarion. Carly Tires, the area's largest selection of tires. At Clarion County Community Bank, you're more than just a number. With personalized service and modern conveniences, they make banking easy. Clarion County Community Bank, where community comes first.
Welcome back here to the Haskell House and Clarion Redbank Chevrolet Main Street Sports Show. Mike Kalinowski, Ken Staub here tonight, and we have the Central Clarion wrestling team here. We're talking to Coach Braun Gorley, who now has the chance to win some big prizes. This is Durstein Windows and Doors sponsoring our prize wheel, and this will be a special feature going on each week. So, Coach, I hope you win something very, very nice. Here we go. Cousin Basil gift card for the coach. That's pretty good.
Okay.
So, with that, you have to take your wife out to dinner and all kinds of nice stuff. All right. So we're going to come back this way, and we're going to get started with some of the players here. So we'll make our way back over. Good job, Coach.
Thank you. Good win there.
All right, Mr. Staub, you've got some of these players. I know we talked in the break. You're going to start with a few of them and talk about the seasons and all the good stuff.
Yep, the plan is to go right down the line with, we still have 2 segments left, so we're going to go divide them in half. First, I'm going to talk to Mason Gorley. Mason, you wrestle 172. The big news for you is you missed most of last season with an injury. So this is sort of your return to the mat. I don't want to say after a year off, because I do believe you wrestled like 11 matches last year. But can you talk about recovering from that injury and gaining confidence again on the mat?
Yeah, so last year I wrestled a little bit, but I definitely wasn't 100%. But this year I'm really happy to be back and to, I don't know, last year missing like my season really made me realize how much I like the sport and how much I want to do it. So this year I almost have like a new passion. I want to succeed even more. Last year I didn't do well in the wrestling season because I was hurt, but then I did track, and I think that really helped me come back because it was like a bounce back sport. So I ended up qualifying for states in track, so that was a lot of fun. So.
Okay, so when life gave you lemons, you sort of made lemonade, as the old saying goes.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I just think I'm grateful that I did track because I think that helped me like come back to the competitive mind almost, because after missing so much time from wrestling. So.
And then I talked a little bit about it at the opening. The new rules seem to favor your style of wrestling, which is high intensity scoring a lot of points, a lot of what I call catch and release wrestling. Take them down, let them up, put as many points on the board as you can. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I've definitely noticed that it's a lot easier to score points now with like the takedowns increased 1 point, and then so are the back points. So yeah, I've never, at least like my sophomore year, my freshman year, I never really like tech fought a lot of people, but this year I seem to be scoring a lot more points. I personally really like the rule change because I think a takedown should be worth more, and another rule is that like the out of bounds rule, which was really nice. So yeah, I like the rules, the new rules.
Okay, now I was looking at your record. Even though you missed last year, you do have 80 wins, so that 100 win milestone, everything goes well, is within your grasp. Have you thought about that at all?
Yeah, I knew coming into this year I needed 36, I'm pretty sure, 36 wins. So we were looking at it the other day, I think right near the end of the post, like right near postseason or a couple of matches before. Hopefully I can get it if I just got to stay healthy. But the most important thing is like the postseason, obviously. So looking forward to that.
Okay. Now, Mason's is a Clarion high school student. Jake comes from Keystone High School. Jake, can you talk about your style? You probably have one of the more dynamic styles on the mat.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so I don't know. I really don't have a specific style. It's just whatever I like that day. Some days I go out and wrestle with technique, and other days I just go out and throw and see what happens. So I don't know. I like to change it up. Never like to get bored of doing the same style, I guess. So.
And it's certainly not boring because you have that mindset, rather throw you than know you a lot of times. Mm-hmm. So one of the things, do you ever feel like you're overlooked in District 9? You have 65 wins. You have a legitimate shot at 100. You've averaged 25 wins each of the past 2 years. Can you talk about, do you ever feel overlooked, and do you use that as motivation if you do?
I mean, a little, yeah. I love to use different things as motivation. That's definitely one of the things. Coming from Keystone, we haven't had a really good wrestler in a long time, and just being able to have the opportunity to do that and go out and represent my school through another program and everything. And like you said, as a freshman, I knew I wanted 100 wins by my senior year, so I worked super hard, and I lost early in a lot of tournaments when I was in my younger years. And I was just really good at wrestling back and into the 3rd and 4th, 5th and 6th place matches. And so even though back then I wasn't that competitive, I just always liked the mindset, wrestle back and get that opportunity to show. Yeah.
Okay.
You talked about how track and field really motivated you to get back into the wrestling and want to win and be successful. Now, do you play another sport as well at Keystone?
Yes, I play football and track.
Okay, so you play both of those. And how important are those sports keeping you ready to go as far as wrestling goes?
Yeah, I love football for sure, and I love track too, but football definitely motivates me to get good at wrestling and stuff, because that just helps me with my mental toughness and my strength, and a lot of conditioning for football and stuff. So.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, and I know a lot of, like you said, you're waiting on a lot of those football guys to come back too, and it certainly is one of those sports. But track and field too, and you look at all of the different sports and the different things that they do. So speed, agility, and things like that. So, and I think all of you guys are multiple sport people. So, and I think that helps a lot.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think the versatility in all the sports definitely helps make an athlete well-rounded. So.
Now, you're both up weight classes from last year. You're up from 160, I believe, to 189. And what did you wrestle last year, Mason?
I was 172, but I wasn't really watching anything because of my injury. So I probably would have gone 160 last year if I was healthy. So I'm definitely bigger than I was last year.
Okay. Can you talk about adjusting to the added weight and how that affects you at all, if it does?
I personally, the bigger I get, I always find it almost easier. I try to keep the biggest thing about when you put on more weight is trying to keep your speed, because once you get bigger, the wrestling gets slower. And I think I've done a pretty okay job at keeping my speed, and then it's easier to, people that weigh 172 pounds are typically a lot slower than 145. So I think getting bigger is always better. So that's what I like to think about it.
Jake, how about you?
Yeah, even my style and how I like to throw, it really fits in better with the heavier weights than the lighter weights, because they're more flexible and harder to throw. So I always like going up and seeing what I can do against kids that are bigger than me. So.
Braun, it has to be nice to have Mason back in the lineup. I mean, Jake was at 160 last year, so you didn't have a big drop off at all, if any. Can you talk about having Mason back in the lineup?
Yeah, like I alluded to earlier, it just gives us, I say us as coaches, more flexibility when we have the dual meets. Perfect example last night, we had some guys that could bump up and take forfeits, and Mason actually wrestled 189, knowing that he could get a win there, and Jake went to actually wrestle 215, knowing Jake could get a win there. And we talked about this today. I think Jake was giving up 35 pounds last night, which is a tremendous amount in this sport. And he wrestled a kid that was a lot heavier. I wouldn't say a lot stronger, but Jake weathered the storm in the first period, and Jake was a much better technical wrestler and came out with a victory. So that would just, having guys of all their caliber in our lineup gives us flexibility. So it's nice to have.
What goes through your mind when you see Jake do some of the stuff he does? Because it's definitely unorthodox.
I'm probably the guy that's maybe besides his parents that's used to it the most. Because Coach Jake, actually, I kind of moved up with Jake in junior high. I was the junior high coach, and then moved up to varsity. So I've been along with Jake, and one thing about him is, no matter what the score is, he's never out of the match. He's always exciting to watch. I mean, I think it was, was at Falconer last year when I think Jake was down 14-0 and ended up losing the match 14-13 or something. It was, and the great thing about wrestling, and we tell everybody, is no matter what the score is, you're never out of it, because a pin ultimately ends the match. So it's certainly exciting to watch, and yeah, we'll see what else comes of it this year.
Now, Coach brought it up, and this is something I think you all could address. What's it like going up to Falconer and wrestling kids that you don't see all the time? Because eventually you get around the District 9. You'll see these kids at the end of the season. You see them at least once a year, sometimes twice. What's it like wrestling, quote unquote, new blood?
I enjoy it because it's a kid. The whole point of it is to get better, like these tournaments, and so if you beat a kid a couple times, like in the district, they always say, like, I think a sports quote is like, it's hard to beat like a good kid like 3 times in a row. And I've seen that happen before, where kids will face a kid in the district a bunch of times and they'll end up losing. So I think that the New York, it's a good way to get better because there's new kids, and even if you lose to them, you don't really have to worry about seeing them ever again because their postseason is completely different than ours. We'll never see them again. And there's always some solid kids up there, so everybody here likes to face better kids because that's how you get better. So we all enjoy going up there.
Okay, Logan, what's it like going up there for you? You've been runner-up at that tournament now for the past 2 seasons. Obviously, a ceiling you want to break this year. Can you talk about wrestling up there?
Yeah, the tournament's a lot of fun. Obviously, getting second place 2 years in a row kind of sucks. I think that my 10th grade year, I got kind of screwed with an interlocking call, but it's whatever. I mean, New York refs are definitely different than PA refs for sure, but the tournament's a lot of fun. The trip's a lot of fun, and hanging out at the hotel with the team's a lot of fun. It's a all in all great trip.
Okay. And that is, you'll leave Friday afternoon and you won't get back till Saturday night.
Saturday evening, right, yep.
It's sort of a boys trip out, with just wrestle and
hopefully bring home some hardware and everybody behave themselves. And so that's always the, no, we've always been good up there. We've never had any problems. And the guys that have been around kind of know the routine, and it'll be a good trip.
Okay. All right. We're going to have to take another time out here coming up. And when we come back, we'll have the Durstein windows and doors. We're going to have the players. I'll hide a number. We'll get one of the players over there to spin the wheel. That's coming up. And then we have more interviews coming up with our other guys that we haven't heard as much from. So that's all on the way. So I think it's been interesting. I've really enjoyed the conversation, listening to these guys talk. So we do have the Central Clarion Wildcat team here tonight, and we'll continue with their interviews right after this. And you're watching the Redbank Chevrolet Main Street Sports Show right here from the Haskell House in Clarion on exploreClarion.com.
Hi, my name is Jason, and welcome to Sweet Basil. Come on in.
Need reliable plumbing or heating services? Call Luton's Plumbing and Heating. Fast, friendly, and available 24/7. Call them at 814-226-8695. The Cooper Discoverer Road Plus Trail AT, our most trusted truck tire, is now better than ever and available for your truck or SUV. They're designed for the reliability and durability to find adventure beyond the pavement and are backed by a Cooper mileage warranty of up to 65,000 miles. Learn more about the reliable Discoverer Road Plus Trail AT at CooperTire.com. Count on Cooper. Or stop by Carly Tires in Clarion. Carly Tires, the area's largest selection of tires. This game is brought to you by Tionesta Builders? No. Tionesta Builder Supply. Family-owned and operated home improvement centers located in Tionesta and Shippenville.
Your eyes are the window to your soul, so take care of them. The Laurel Eye Clinic provides complete care from annual exams, glasses and contacts to cataract and retinal surgery, LASIK, and more. As a trusted leader in family eye care for 50 years, you can trust them with yours. Call or visit us online today.
Dubrook is your trusted ready-mix concrete supplier. From commercial to residential, Dubrook has you covered. Call 1-844-DUBROOK or visit DUBROOKING.com. Dubrook is proud to support our local communities. Dubrook, your solid choice in all things concrete.
At Clarion County Community Bank, you're more than just a number. With personalized service and modern conveniences, they make banking easy. Clarion County Community Bank, where community comes first.
You can afford a gorgeous, custom-designed hardwood Kales kitchen for a lot less than you'd pay at a DIY store. Go to FactoryDirectKitchens.net. At Kales, there are never middleman markups or hidden charges that can add 40%. Go to FactoryDirectKitchens.net. That's FactoryDirectKitchens.net.
Modern Living Solutions in Knox is always on the lookout for driven, positive individuals to join their team. They offer career growth opportunities and industry-leading pay. No experience is necessary as training is provided. Apply today and build a future with Modern Living Solutions.
Affordable opportunities are endless at Northern Pennsylvania Regional College. If you're looking to start next semester or next year, apply now at discovernprc.org. discovernprc.org.
And welcome back here to the Haskell House. It is the Redbank Chevrolet Main Street Sports Show. Mike Kalinowski, Ken Staub here tonight. We have Coach Bron Gorley and our wrestlers from Central Clarion. We have Mason, Hayden, Jake, and Logan all here tonight. We've had a great conversation too, enjoyed that. But it's time again for our Durstein Windows and Doors Big Cash Wheel. So we have the players now. So we have 4 guys, so we'll have you choose a number between 1 and 4. And we do have a birthday boy. He said, well, we should choose him to go since it is also Elvis's birthday. But maybe when we're done, no matter what happens, maybe we'll have you guys just do an Elvis song and do some dancing. We'll see what happens here. But we'll go right down the line. Should we start on that end or this end? 1 through 4. Over here, birthday boy can start. 1 through 4.
2.
Okay.
1.
3, 4.
You're stuck with 4. And the number is the birthday boy, number 2. So come on over.
Who's Rick?
I wrote it down before the break.
Mason was side-eyeing it.
I want to see the dance party. So, Durstein Windows and Doors. It's the big prize wheel. And Mr. Gorley, go right ahead. It likes to go for a while. Well, it is karaoke. Pick someone to sing a tune. Or should we let him try again? No? All right. So who's going to sing?
Hayden's going to sing. Sing for me.
Should I stand here or get away? All right.
No, I tell you, Hayden. You got it.
You were chosen.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mason. Happy birthday to you.
That was a good choice.
Good choice. Good choice.
I was waiting. I thought he was going to bust out into some like rap song or something. But that was pretty good. All right, Mr. Staub, we got a couple more guys. We got a grill here, so
Yep,
get on with our interviews.
For this segment, Logan and Hayden are on the hot seat. I'm going to start with Logan. Logan's from Clarion Limestone. First Clarion Limestone student athlete to achieve 100 wins in wrestling. Can you talk a little bit about that?
It's an incredible milestone. I put a lot of work in through my 12 years of wrestling, and it's definitely an achievement I've always wanted to accomplish. But it's not the main goal. The main goal is to get on the podium at Hershey.
Okay, and that's one of the things that you're known for is your work ethic. Could you talk a little bit about how you prepare for the sport and how you train?
Well, I do some other sports in the off season for more conditioning purposes. I do cross country, and I do track, and I also do wrestling in the off season. I do off season tournaments here and there, and I wrestle in the spring, the fall, and then I run cross country in the fall, and then track in the spring. Yeah.
Okay, and you're up a little at 139. I can remember a couple years ago when you were much lighter than that. How is 139 for you? Is it an easy weight to make, or is it something you have to really focus on?
It's not too bad. I ran cross country. I weighed about like 150 to 155 pounds. But I mean, the weight cut's not too bad. I mean, it's definitely not the easiest thing ever, but it's not horrible.
Okay. And you've committed to wrestle in college. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I'm committed to wrestle at Davis and Elkins. It's a Division II college in West Virginia. It's like an hour south of Morgantown for a map reference.
Okay, and what are you going to major there?
I'm doing pharmacy. I'm going to do a pre-med there, and then go to grad school to finish out my schooling.
That's good.
Okay. Now let's start with Hayden. One of the things that always comes up when we talk with Hayden is you last wrestled, I believe, in 7th grade, correct?
Yeah, 7th grade.
So can you tell me a little bit about what it's like returning to the mat after a 3-year break?
Honestly, I think it's not better, obviously. If I wouldn't have taken a break, I would be in a lot better position than where I'm at now. But I took that break to lift a lot and do some more plyos and stuff to get quicker, but then also get bigger. So, I mean, I'm coming back a lot faster than I would have been, in my opinion. But, I mean, if I would have stuck with it, I feel like I'd be a little bit better. But I can't have regrets now. I just got to work with what I have. Okay, and, obviously whatever you did is working. You're 11-1 this year, I believe. You actually just took your first loss Saturday. You'll wrestle that guy probably in
Tuesday.
Next Tuesday in a week. Is that going to give you some extra motivation going into that match?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to lose. I don't think anybody really likes to lose. So I'll be thinking about it while I practice and when I'm in the weight room. But I'm just trying to make a name for myself on the district level, see what I can do. And if I can make it to regionals, I'll make it to regionals. But I'm just going to train as hard as I can right now to see what happens.
And when we talked Saturday, one of the things you mentioned is you were a match or two away from shaking the rust off completely. Can you talk about that just a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, whenever I was younger, I would wrestle. I think I wrestled like 155 in 7th grade. And for that weight class in 7th grade, it's more like the heavyweight now. But what I'm talking about is like getting moving, getting some more quick people to wrestle and some like people that are agile and will shoot on me and have people like take shots and I have to sprawl and scramble a little bit. So that's more the wrestle I'm talking about, not like the stay in a tie up and move around a little bit. I'm talking about the scrambling and the quick on my feet that I think once I get deeper into the season, into the postseason, I think that I'll be ready to wrestle someone like Gavin Hanna, who's good outside and good inside.
Yeah, looking at the state rankings and things like that, District 9 does have a wealth of heavyweights. You have Gavin Hanna over at Brookville. You obviously have John Winnings at Brockway, Carson Neely up at Port Allegheny. So you do have some real good competition coming up. That has to be motivating.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, some people remember me from when I wrestled when I was younger, and I was decent, but this year I'm just trying to keep my head down, work, and see what happens. Okay, now we have two folks that did cross country in preparation for the wrestling season, and then you and Jake played football.
in the fall. What's the conditioning like, if you and Jake could talk about that? Because football obviously requires a different level of conditioning. You know, I know you're an offensive lineman. If you have to run a long way, something's either going very right or very wrong. Can you talk about the challenges of conditioning for wrestling after a football season?
So he had a little bit more time than me to condition, so I came into practice. I took a week to get rested after that state championship game, but the football conditioning is a lot easier, and it's a lot like short goes, 6 seconds maximum. But for wrestling, you have to be able to go 6 minutes, and honestly, I don't think I'm conditioned yet. I've been trying to work on it, but it's just really tough to get in that wrestling shape, and all these guys are in it, and it's ridiculous to watch them, how long they can go live wrestling. And I end up wrestling with these guys in the room sometimes, and they beat me up because I'm just tired and slow, and they're all still moving. So it's a big, big difference.
Jake, could you talk a little bit about that transition from football to wrestling?
Yeah, it's definitely, like he said, football is very physically demanding, but wrestling is just so, you have to be in such good a shape. Like I never imagined like in my younger years having to be in this good a shape to wrestle. Because like when you're younger, the matches are like 4 minutes-ish, 4 or 5 minutes. And when my freshman year, our Redbank tournament was my first time I had a match that went 6 minutes, and I came off the mat and I could barely pick up my arms. It's just so physically draining and stuff. I'd never like experienced anything like it. So yeah, it's the conditioning and shape you have to be in is insane. So.
Now maybe Mason and Logan can address this. You guys are cross country in the fall, which is Mason was soccer. Yeah. Okay, so Mason, both of those.
You're moving.
But both of those are a lot of endurance type running. You know, Logan, you're running for 18 to 25 minutes. You're running for 60 minutes. Wrestling is more of a sprint, a 6-minute sprint. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think this was my first year playing soccer, and I had a lot of fun, but it's soccer and running in general, they're just like, it's just your legs. I think I've noticed like your legs have to be in good shape, whereas wrestling, it's like you're using every muscle in your body in ways that it's hard, like there's really no other way to get in wrestling shape besides wrestling, because you're using muscles in ways that are so unique that like sometimes I would do swimming to try to get that wrestling thing, but there's really no way to get in wrestling shape besides wrestling. Like obviously running helps, but just all like the weird movements and stuff that you do, your body gets tired, and I think that's why wrestling is like probably the hardest sport to get conditioned in.
Logan, could you talk about that a little, from the cross country to wrestling?
Yeah, I also had a lot of fun in cross country. I did really good. I got 3rd at districts in the district race, and I qualified for states, which was a huge achievement. And it's really demanding, of course, on your legs. You run for 18 to 25 minutes, like you said. I got quite a few done in 17 minutes. But it definitely requires like another thing that I've kind of picked up in my later high school years is better hydration. Like I consume a ton of electrolyte drinks, and I feel like that helps me, and good warm-ups. I feel like everything has just kind of come full circle with my training, whether it's wrestling, track, cross country. And for cross country wrestling, with my wrestling background, it really helped me in cross country as well. And cross country helps in wrestling with conditioning.
I have a quick question too. And I have students that wrestle too, or the school I teach at, and I'm always watching them before a wrestling match. And there are some of them that, when it comes to weight, have to make it so that they can wrestle that night. How hard is that? You know, I don't know a ton, you know, as far as like the techniques and things like that you guys go through, but to make weight for things, and how close do you really have to watch that? And is it really difficult if you're a little bit over, a little bit under, things like that?
It depends on the wrestler. Like, there's some people that don't really have to cut weight at all. Like Hayden's under his weight class by a lot.
You're good.
So he's fine.
I got like 25 to 35 pounds, so I can we went to Bob's Sub, and they were all getting like.
So you're eating
like,
and they're all watching?
They're all getting like mini subs. I got a senior steak because I can eat whatever I want.
So we should have the pizza here for you.
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the weight cutting, it's all depending on how you do it. I know some wrestlers, I'm not a fan of this, but some of them, they'll make weight and then they'll just eat whatever they want as much as they can because they're like, I don't know if it's like they see it as a reward, and then they'll be like 10 pounds over, and then they have to cut weight, that's probably the kids that you see, they're miserable. But the better way to do it is to just stay on a diet and stay consistent, and maybe you have to cut some water weight here and there, but it just depends on how you do it. It's going to be hard no matter what, but I think the smarter way to do it is to get in a diet, get used to that diet, and not have to worry about cutting 6 pounds in a day to try to make weight.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think what we're talking about is wrestling has certainly changed in the way a lot of things happen. I wrestled back in the mid-'80s.
Oh, I was going to say 1947.
No,
later.
I wrestled in the mid-'80s, and weight cutting was handled a lot differently. We were allowed to wear the rubber suits all through practice, which is illegal now. So it's a little bit more healthy. Whereas we were taking drastic cuts in very unhealthy manner. Could you talk about that change in the sport?
Yeah, it changed shortly after I graduated because we never had to do weight certifications. But I mean, all these guys have to go and they have to pass a hydration test. They get their body fat measured and they get their weight taken that day, and then that's all put into a calculation to get them on a weight loss plan. And it gives you your minimum weight. So it's very disciplined. It's very hard to cheat at it. But like Mason said, these guys they do it well. You have to be disciplined and just do it sensibly, and it's manageable. So
yeah, working with the college team, the guys that are walking around close to their competition weight, as opposed to having to drop 10 pounds in a week. Those guys seem better. Another big difference, and from the way things have changed, is we used to do a lot of running as part of wrestling practice to build our endurance, and now it's shifted to where you wrestle to get in shape, as opposed to, we used to carry people upstairs, 3-4 flights of stairs, things like that. Can you talk about that change in philosophy?
Yeah, and Mason alluded to that. I mean, the best way for this sport to get in wrestling shape is to wrestle. It gets you better at technique, and it also builds your endurance because, like I tell these guys, we're not here to run a marathon or to win a sprint race or a how fast we can run up steps. I mean, we're here to score more points than the guy or pin the guy and win. Like they really don't care how fast Hayden can run a mile or any of these guys can run a mile at a wrestling tournament. So, and we followed kind of the lead of the university. They do a lot of live wrestling, a lot of drilling, a lot of stuff like that. And I think that's how it's evolved. It's not just a lot of running like it used to be.
Yeah, and I don't think I ever realized either until we really started doing a lot of these matches and things. Just in that 2-minute period, how much energy that you guys put out, over those 3 periods. It's to me is amazing. And watching you guys just after, you think about that as a short amount of time, and it really isn't a long time. But watching you guys come off that mat, and you're exhausted. If it's a tough match, it really does take a lot out of you in that short amount of time.
Yeah, it's almost like you're just fighting someone it's fighting with rules basically. So it takes a lot of effort.
And it's funny because you anticipated my next question. Wrestling isn't a game. I don't think wrestling's fun. I never thought, and for that 3 seconds you get your hand raised, that's a rush, that's fun. But wrestling is basically you're controlled fighting, and you go to practice and you fight for an hour. To me, the only thing that's comparable is playing the line in football, which is fighting, basically. Can you talk about that difference between the fun aspect versus the work aspect?
Yeah, I mean, winning's always fun, and practice. One thing we do at practice is we have a time where we can play games before practice, and that's a lot of fun being with the team. But we just know when we start at 3:45, and when that starts, we can just like put our head down and practice for an hour and a half, and then we're done. So I think that's a lot of fun. And as far as matches are a lot of fun, and they test you mentally, and we're with all of our friends on our team, so I think it's a lot of fun. I really have grown to enjoy dual meets because everybody works together there, and it's a lot of fun. So,
especially in dual meets, the energy is just so different than when you're there for your teammates at that point. In a tournament, it's just for yourself, and if you don't want it mentally, then it's hard to do it. But as a team, you're doing it for everyone. So, yeah, it's a lot different, I think. But.
Well, we're gonna. You want to?
Hayden, do you have?
Get a final comment here.
Yeah, I mean, for me, playing the offensive and defensive line, it's that whole like defensive backs, everybody else. They have plays where they might not hit anybody or just bump with someone, but you hit someone every single play. You're guaranteed to hit at least one person multiple times. It's 2 or more. So that translating into wrestling, you got to be aggressive. You got to want the contact. You have to want to move someone around, be physical with them. So I think that's a good translation.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap up our segment here and get ready for wrapping up the show here this evening. We do want to thank the Central Clarion Wildcats, Coach Brock Gorley. Want to thank you for bringing the guys in, and want to thank again Mason Gorley, Jake Henry, Logan Powell, and Hayden Hindman for coming in and sharing your insight. I think it was really interesting. I think the folks really enjoyed that. I know I learned a little bit about you guys and a little bit more about the sport itself too, which I think is really, really great. So we're going to take our final time out. We're going to be back for a quick wrap up. And you're watching the Redbank Chevrolet Main Street Sports Show. It's right here on exploreClarion.com.
Dubrook is your trusted ready-mix concrete supplier. From commercial to residential, Dubrook has you covered. Call 1-844-DUBROOK or visit dubrooking.com. Dubrook is proud to support our local communities. Dubrook, your solid choice in all things concrete.
This is a great show.
Hey, check out this all-new 2024 Chevrolet Trax 1RS in cacti green. Let's talk about some of those safety features. We have blind spot monitoring system, we have forward collision system with alert and brake, and we have lane departure warning as well. How about the gas mileage?
30 miles per gallon average. Yeah, it's great.
People really love those safety features like blind spot monitoring, forward collision warning with alert and braking, and lane departure warning.
Bumper-to-bumper warranty and the 5-year 60,000 mile powertrain warranty.
And check out the clarity on this backup camera on this 11-inch touchscreen.
It's great.
Can you believe you get all the features like heated steering wheel, heated seats, remote start, power sunroof, all for $24,900?
That's a great value in the new Chevrolet.
Hey, check out this Glacier Blue RST Silverado 4x4 Z71 four-wheel drive. 5.3 liter V8. It's a really nice, sharp truck. All LT and RST Silverados have this same interior. Got this really large touchscreen display, built-in Google Maps, heated seats, automatic climate control, heated steering wheel. We have a backup camera, really great display,
and all the safety aspects. Adaptive parking, adaptive braking, pedestrian braking, blind spot mitigation.
Follow us to Redbank Chevrolet.
All right, welcome back here to the Haskell House, wrapping up the Redbank Chevrolet Main Street Sports Show tonight. Again, we do want to thank the Central Clarion Wildcats Wrestling Squad for coming in and a great conversation. We do have to say happy birthday to one of our cohorts. Well, two of them, I guess, with Mason here. It's your birthday today. It's also the Governor Bob Knuckles' birthday. guess it's Elvis's birthday too. So, but Bob Dunkel, you can see him there. We did send him to Hair Club for Men for his birthday present. He looks pretty good. I understand you got a pretty good picture over there of him. Bob, I won't tell his real age, but he turned about 72, 73 today, I think, is near that. So, but this is one time I could always say Bob's a little older than I am, at least for a few more months. So happy birthday going out to him. Hey, tomorrow night too, it is some football coming your way, college football. If you like that, it's been fun. Notre Dame, Penn State. And then on Friday night, it's Texas and Ohio State. I know Jake's really pushing. He loves the Irish. So he's going to cut my mic here. I better be quiet. But we'll see what happens. Should be a lot of fun with those two games. I don't know, you guys have a favorite real quick? Do you watch it? I know you watch.
Penn State. He's more of a fan than me, though.
Penn State's
Boo. Okay.
big time.
I think Ohio State's got
Thank
it
you.
personally, but
Yeah, Penn State. Penn State.
You guys disappoint me, Coach.
Stuff to
He doesn't
beat.
know.
Yeah, he does.
And then on Friday night, hope you can join us. We'll be down at Redbank Valley. We'll have some basketball action coming your way here on Explore. Also, we'll have wrestling matches coming up here soon as well. So you want to stay tuned for all of that. I want to thank my partner, Ken Staub. Great job as always, Ken.
Thanks for having me.
All right, that'll wrap things up for us here from the Haskell House. And you've been watching the Redbank Chevrolet Main Street Sports Show here from the Haskell House on exploreClarion.com. Have a great night. We'll see you on Friday night.
Have a great day.